start week 3 as an intern at Microsoft, and today was one of those days that I finally managed to put more time into my work because my meetings are going down in the numbers. So today was mostly going on into working for one of my clients' projects. So one of the things that you learn while you are at Microsoft is that you need to be very proactive. You need to look for issues and coming up with solutions that maybe no one asked for. So I managed to see some opportunities in a way or another where I saw that maybe the communication is not the best. There is not so much transparency on our side. So what I was coming was like, what about creating a dashboard that we can postpone like all the issues that are coming up and then explaining actually step by step what is our team doing, because a lot of the times what's happening is that we're actually doing a lot of meetings, we're discussing with a lot of people, but we don't necessarily see progress. But that doesn't mean we don't try to help in solving some issues. It's just that there is a lot of blockers in a way or another, especially if it's like a product coming from corp. So I think I was like, let me create some transparency. And actually the team love it, so I created the first draft. I need to do some changes because some new things happen today, and then pretty much go on and share it with the client and be like, look, this is how we're going to go forward. So I'm excited about that one. Then I moved also in meeting with the same client. Pretty much we spent 2 hours just to try to define what's going on, plan some things that are coming up, and also create more clarity both on my side and also on the client side, to be honest, on like what's coming up, what are the new versions, how to test different environments and different things that I'm not going to go through because it's a bit not the most interesting part. And then some of my part was also going a bit into what I'm calling it a lot of like me planning different things, and also sending some messages, reminders and feedback requests because my connect is coming. So pretty much I also spend 1 hour like reading all my emails, going through everything that I need to do, put time in my calendar, actually blocking it, so I'm making sure that I'm finishing in time. So yeah, pretty much that's what happened. Into Tuesday, so today was a bit of a half day. Half was like working on my project and half was full of meetings. So pretty much I started the day with working for my client because we are trying to create an issue dashboard so that we have a full overview of all the issues that are going on the project that we are going, and also all the steps that us internally are doing in order to make it happening, and then also on their side what's happening. So pretty much this dashboard will help us a lot to create a lot of clarity, and also will be like one place to go for everyone to understand what's the status, what's going on, and what's actually happening. Do we have any blockers and different things? So that is like a good daily starter of like getting there, like trying to understand what's going on and trying to be inside it. Then of course after that I also prepare a bit for a workshop that is going to come, and I'm trying to shadow and maybe a bit help. So it was like me going a bit through the documentation. I didn't manage to go through everything, but I managed to go through at least half of it, just to have an understanding of what's the current status, what's the goal of the next company that we're going to work with. And pretty much then the rest of the half of the day was again with one of the clients. It was like a 1.5, almost 2 hours session where we were discussing like absolutely every step. It was more of like a strategic call but also a technical call, because it was on one side like explaining all the issue and like explaining the best case scenarios, like what are our consultants' views of this one, like what's the best way to go through it. And also on the other side it was like a bit strategic on trying to understand how we're going to shape the whole project, what we're going to do. So it was a bit of an interesting insight for me just to be there on one side, learning a lot about our technical things, like even like in all the settings of an agent, just pressing one toggle can change a lot of things. So it's good to have just an overview of what's going on, but also on the other side it's very interesting to be in those strategic planning meetings. Let's get into Wednesday. So Wednesday was a great combination of days. So I started the day with full day on working on different things. On one side, on one of my clients for the dashboard that I already mentioned yesterday, and also on the other side, finishing all the documentation reading for the workshop that is coming up. So it was a full productive day, but then also we had a 1 hour weekly check-in with the interns, and this time we decided to go to arcade near our office just to have a fun 1 hour fully debriefing, playing some games, and also like in the teams trying to bond with each other even more through games, which was extremely fun. And I think it's very important for the balance in a way or another. Like sometimes you just need to have fun, so that after the meeting we managed to get back into the office and be productive for 2 more hours. So I think it was a good equilibrium of like fun and playing. But yeah, pretty much that's all that happened on Wednesday. Let's get into Thursday. So pretty much I started the day with meetings, which was pretty much on one side on the client, as always, the daily stand-up, that on other side, because I'm working on DreamSpace, which is our collaboration with DreamSpace for like creating different opportunities for kids to learn how to code or about AI. So I'm going more into the technical side. So we're trying to build a new process in a way or another. So we had a meeting just to like go to what have we done until now and what's the next steps that are going to come afterwards. And then after we had this ideation, we had lunch with the interns as always, which is great. And then we stand up into the idea that I had 1.5 hours meeting on trying to do a lot of data analysis on an internal project. So we go a lot through like how we want to look at the data, because we managed to do a lot of interviews, which of course that meant that we have a lot of transcripts and a lot of data. And when you have this amount of data, you need to think very clear how you want to approach it, about what are you looking. You need to create some hypothesis so you know what you're looking into the data, because if you're just jumping and looking into it, you can get lost a lot of the times. So we go a bit on the topic analysis and thematic analysis, and we're going to look into like how can we approach it. Pretty much on Monday next week, we're going to have a full session on like reporting, and then on Tuesday I hope we will be ready to go with like more details on like everything that's happening internally. But pretty much after these meetings, a lot of the times what I did, I was like jumping into emails, jumping into like different messages that I got, trying to reply, and also creating a bit of a strategy of what I'm going to do the following days, because I started getting a bit of a backlog of projects. So I'm trying to prioritize and understand which one has the most or the biggest priority, and then based on that to know on where I'm putting my focus mostly. So pretty much just trying to go through it a bit. Let's get into Friday, and today was again a day full of meetings on different aspects. For example, I started as always every morning with meetings on my client. It's our daily stand-up, trying to communicate what have been done and what's our next step, just for both sides to have a bit of a clarity on what's going on, and also if there's more issue for them to raise it to us. And then I went into some brainstorming sessions. So the idea there is that with college initiative, we have another 2 universities coming up to our Microsoft office. So basically they are going to do a day in our life. And we are creating now some workshops. So we had some brainstorming session just to go a bit through the logistic, how we can bring this workshop to people, because also they don't have access to our platform. So we're trying to think how we can make it in a way or another interactive. Then on the other side, I had one meeting actually, which was very important, because it was meeting with one of our leadership person, because I'm trying to help them to create an agent for their LinkedIn post. To be honest, as always, those meetings are a bit scary, not because the person is not very friendly, they are extremely friendly, but it's just that idea that you're in a room with people in power in a way or another. So it's always, you want to be very prepared, and it's always like those meetings are going unexpected, like you have a flow but it's going in their flow, so it's like you need to accommodate very fast. But in the end, it's been I think a successful meeting. We kind of have like our flow and what's going to be the next steps to make this agent coming to life. Then on the other side, I had my team meeting. So every Friday we have 1 hour with our team just to do some business updates, personal check-ins, and also one of our colleagues, which is also the chief of AI and data for our office, is getting us through a bit of information about what's new in AI, how is he leading the conversation with different C-level people. So it's always very interesting to just get some insights from his side. And yeah, just seeing the team and checking in on everything that's going on. And then we had some meetings alongside for my thesis. So pretty much I needed an API key. So it was like a lot of conversation with some interns that with one intern actually that managed to already create something like that, and he knew 2 different versions. So we had a meeting just to discuss what are the different versions, what would be the best suited for my project, for my thesis. And after agreeing on some stuff, he also managed to help me get the key, which for me was a bit of a struggle. I was like, oh, how can I get it? But thankful to him, he managed to do it. So that's a reminder that if you don't know how to do something, find someone that knows how to do it and get the help.